God bless you on this Monday morning. This is yours truly, Pastor Nate. I pray that each and every one of you had a great weekend. It is my absolute pleasure whenever I come and speak with you. If you like what you hear, before the end of this video, please don't forget to smash that subscribe button. We'd be glad to have you a part of the Smart family. Before I go any further, I want to talk about the post that I made 3 weeks ago about the mukbang or the biblical foods question. I asked the question, which food was forbidding? The choices were goat, tilapia, crab, and lamb. No one voted for lamb, which is correct because lamb was not forbidding. Lamb was actually permitted. We had 12% voting for goat. Goat was not forbidden. Y'all remember that scripture I read? Goat was on the list as one of the food items that they could eat. Now, tilapia was not forbidden. It had scales. You remember anything that come out of the water that didn't have scales or fins, they weren't allowed to eat. So tilapia was allowed. Crab. Now, many of you, 77%, voted for crab, and that is correct. Crab is considered shellfish. It doesn't have fins or scales, so it was forbidden. So the correct answer is crab. And the 12% that voted for goat, the 12% that voted for tilapia, I would encourage you to go back and look at those biblical foods videos so we can stay abreast on what was allowed and what wasn't under the Jewish law. Thank you for participating. We all are low-hanging fruit. Some of us have the nerve to talk. When we refer to the phrase as low-hanging fruit, that's something that's obvious about you that people can roast you about. People could use it as ammunition against you. So for example, if I'm talking about you, if I'm gagging you and roasting you and talking down and tearing you down, and I'm 500 pounds, low-hanging fruit means you getting ready to tear me up, because what's obvious about me? If I have the nerve to talk about you, when you lash back, the first thing you're going to talk about is low-hanging fruit. Is right there in front of you. And I'm easy to roast. The first thing you're going to talk about is my obesity issue. You have the nerve to talk about someone else and to drag and defame someone else when you got issues yourself. And your issues are very obvious, like nobody doesn't see it, like they're not going to come for you talking about that issue. We got to think about that. And the minute someone says something about your health status or your weight, or you're not having children, or you losing a loved one, then you want to cry the victim. Now, it's unfortunate that people talk about those things, but if you go after them first, when they come back, that's exactly what's going to happen. Y'all hadn't learned this game yet. Some of y'all fall for it every time. Well, she said this about my kids. She said this about my ovaries. She said this about my weight. But you went after them first. You're low-hanging fruit. Of course they going to go after those things. They shouldn't. Of course, you shouldn't have put your mouth on them too. They don't like this kind of teaching. Uh-oh. Y'all share this video. This is going to help somebody today. So here's the solution, friend. Don't speak at all. If you have issues with, if your house is not clean, if you had a camera slip, if people seen roaches in your house, if you're overweight, or if you got a health status that you put out there and people know about it, you have no right to beef, because the first thing your nemesis is coming at is the issue you have. And then when they coming at, then you want people to feel sorry for you, and you want to cry the victim. Come on now. In the Bible, Paul made it plain in 1 Corinthians 9:27. He said, I keep my body under subjection so I won't be disqualified when I preach to you. Yeah, y'all know how trainers work with their body and keep it in shape and things of that nature. So Paul was talking about that, but spiritually, I got to make sure I swept around my front door or back door, keep my house clean before I go after yours. I can't throw a rock and I'm living in a glass house. So if I'm talking about you should watch what you eat, or it's a shame you eating all that fried chicken, and I'm sitting behind a camera, 500 pounds, I'm low-hanging fruit. So Paul was saying you have no right to talk. If I'm talking about your house and I'm living in a shack or staying with somebody else because I don't have the financial wherewithal to purchase a home for myself, the first thing my nemesis is going to come for is the fact that I don't have my own home. That's low-hanging fruit. So that means you're disqualified to speak on others. So if you're going to talk, make sure your stuff is together. Okay, that's the name of the game. I've seen people on YouTube and even in the world, they fall for it every time. There are no rules when it comes down to war. People going to go for the gutter. So make sure you're not low-hanging fruit. I pray that this exhortation blessed you this morning. Listen, tomorrow night is Tuesday. We are going live and we're going to talk about why has YouTube and why have people in your life become so dark. You wonder why. You know, when we start off, we were good, we were cool, and all of a sudden things just went south. All of a sudden you're dark. You start saying all these filthy things. You start doing all these filthy things. Your attitude changed. What happened? Many of you have that question. I want you to come on in tomorrow night and participate. Join me at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. We're going to dig into that topic and we're going to tell you why people have become dark. In the meantime, in between time, be at peace and not in pieces. Till tomorrow night.